What is not as fun as it would seem to be winter. As someone who lived in a place with 6 months of winter for 4 decades and then got the hell out when they could afford to. You're a special breed of person if you love winter. The cold. The layers of clothing. The shoveling. The scraping the ice off your vehicle. The freezing rain on the roads. The snow drifts. The darkness. The heating bills. The slush. The lack of any color that isn't yellow, brown, white, or gray. Sure, the first snowfall might be pretty, but after that you're praying to a god that you don't even believe in that it will be summer again soon. Skiing. I went a few years ago for the first time, age 44. Crowded as hell, so there were lines for everything. Found my boots and couldn't believe how uncomfortable they were. It's like being in a cast. I was winded by the time I got them on. Exhausting to get on the bunny slope. I went back to the clubhouse and watched the good skiers. 45-minute wait for a trip down the slopes that took all of 45 seconds. It's a cold, but sweaty, water park experience, but all the babes are covered up. It seemed fun to hang out and drink beers, but I can do that at home or anywhere. Staying up all night. As a kid you just want to do this all the time. In high school I did a few all-night D&D sessions. It was fun at first, but by 6 AM you're just freaking tired as hell. I did an all-nighter Magic tournament back when I still played years ago. I had work the next day. Good God, what an exhausting day. After lunch I barely remember anything other than the feeling that my shift just wouldn't end. I had been up for at least 36 hours. I went to bed at 4 PM and didn't wake up till noon the next day. Staying up is fun, but sleep is always nice as well. Being a zookeeper. I thought it would be my dream job growing up. Studied zoology for 4 semesters and fought hard to get an internship in the field. I quit within a week. Even after a bunch of volunteer work with dogs, cows, horses, I had no idea how unbelievably foul zoo work could be. I threw up multiple times each day there. My car stunk to high heavens, which never fully went away, and my roommate was threatening to throw me out. Not even showering was helping. The animals aren't cute, but I have no clue how people can deal with that. Ugh. Touring. Either as a band or another kind of artist. So much boring downtime, so much driving, eating like shit, not being able to shower or use the bathroom when you want, loading heavy ass gear in and out, up and down stairs. Touring is the reason so many artists develop addictions. Being fucked up lets you be content with doing nothing and having tons of downtime. Swimming. I know. Just listen. When you look at the water, it looks like heaven. Swimming is still fun. But I feel like it is not as satisfying as I imagined when I look at the water before I got into the water. Water looks amazing from the outside. But once I am inside, it is good. But it is not like as orgasmic as the foreplay with water. I'm saying this as I am currently in Vegas, but slots, at least the modern ones, I don't particularly see the appeal of them. Maybe it would have been different if it were the original coin-operated ones. I could see myself getting addicted to those. But I just feel weird inserting $20 bills and watching them vanish. It just puts me on edge. Traveling for work. Always thought it would be fun to see the world on someone else's dime. The novelty wears off very quickly. It's exhausting, you never get as much downtime as you think or have as much energy to do things as you think, and after a while you start to really miss home-cooked food, your own bed, etc. Coaching football is fun as hell. But you spend 90% of your free time preparing practices, training kids, watching film and dealing with abusive old men who try to make it big. Plus if anything happens from July-November, just plan on missing it. And majority of the kids are assholes who need to get jumped. Engaging with local politics. Democratic society should be building youngsters up to enjoy and even anticipate the act of expressing their First Amendment rights, speaking out up in town halls, demonstrating against injustice, etc. Instead, we do none of those things, and day by day those liberties evaporate. Concerts. I've only been to one. It was cool seeing the band play live, but it was indoors and super crowded. I was constantly having people bump into me. There also weren't any chairs, and standing for a long time is tough if you have POTS. It was anxiety-inducing. Clubbing. I mean, some people love it, but it's just a loud, annoying, expensive, pretentious mess to me. A bunch of peacocks in a room screaming over peacock music to spend money on a 0.01 chance someone might look at them. It's kind of embarrassing, honestly. Going to Disneyland and Universal Studios, I spent most of the time waiting in extremely long queues, many 30-45 minutes wait to go on to the rides, or avoiding rides because of their extremely long queues. Everything was also very expensive. Getting wasted on cocaine and Jamaican rum and crashing a bonfire 3 towns over only to wake up the next morning in a stranger's bed with no memories and a stomach that won't hold for the journey home. Driving 18-wheelers or operating heavy equipment. It's awesome at first and stays awesome for a while, but then it becomes the most bland thing on earth. Day in day out it ruins the charm. Ferris wheels. Let's swing back and forth in a little box supported by something that looks fragile, and let's look at the small, narrow wires taping this whole thing together. Not fun. Working at a movie theater, I think I could rival the swamps of Dagobah story if I was good at telling stories. It was horrible, and something I'll remember till I die. Driving stresses me something shocking sometimes. Being able to listen to your own music is great, although I can lose a bit of concentration when a banger comes on. Being an adult, I can't, without question, say that my kiddie years and maybe college years were the best of my life. Being an adult is shit. Being a veterinarian. Every little girl wants to be one at some point. Every actual veterinarian I've ever talked to strongly discourages it. I worked a manual, not explosive demolition job. Gotta be fun tearing things down, right? It was brutally hard work, and hard on the body. Getting frisky in a hot tub, water gets weird uncomfortable places and doesn't reduce friction as well as one might think it would. Owning pet ferrets. Here in the UK at least, where descending them is illegal. They're so cute, but oh man, it's not worth it. Vomiting face, vomiting face. The work hard play hard mentality. You work a ton and have a ton of money, but you're too tired to go anywhere to spend any of it. Theme parks. The ride itself is so fun. For 60 seconds. Then you're back to queuing for 2 hours for the next 60 seconds of fun. Complete financial freedom and no responsibilities. It's fun, don't get me wrong, but not as fun as it would seem to be. Carnival rides. Why are they so crazy? I don't need to know what it feels like when my body thinks it's about to die. I don't think bungee jumping is as cool as it seems. That huge snap when you reach the bottom must hurt, right? Autofellatio. Feels more like sucking a cock than getting your cock sucked. Also tends to hurt your back. I thought it would be fun to work at the Spirit Halloween store, but I did it 1 year and it wasn't the fun. Waterboarding at Guantanamo Bay sounds really fun, if you don't know what either of those things are. Alcohol. It tastes bad, and if you have just a hair more than you should, boy oh boy do you regret it. Living in a little village on a mountain. Everything is super expensive, and everyone's an alcoholic. Sharing a standard size bathtub with your romantic partner when one of you is over 6 feet tall. People used to always tell me, oh, it must be so fun to work at Spirit Halloween, and that it was not. Sex on the beach. The deed, not the drink. There are some places where sand does not belong. Working at an amusement park. Spring break and summer were the absolute worst times of year. Waterboarding at Guantanamo Bay sounds fun, if you don't know what either of those mean. Porn addictions. I have no idea why 4th graders thought that watching porn is cool. When you're 13 dreaming of being an adult for freedom, then it sucks ass 10x more. Moving out of your parents' house when you don't have a job that pays well. Having a job where you don't really do much. Fulfillment is important. Having too many one-night stands. It gets unfulfilling after a while. Waterboarding sounds pretty fun actually, until you learn what it is. Definitely sex in any body of water, pool, shower, etc. shit hurts. Having fun. I'm happy just chilling on my couch at home, thanks. Stormtrooper. Pay as shit and watch out for walking carpets. Sex in the shower. Turns out water is a pretty lousy loop. Marriage. Having sex with multiple people at once. Weed. I just don't think roller coasters are worth the lines.